Today we're going to be talking about understanding wealth creation in this course one. And the course one starts today, and I believe that you're welcome on board to this Kingdon wealth creation training. And I believe that becoming is what determines achieving. Until you become, you can't achieve. So this training is going to help you to come to understanding of becoming. Because when you become, your mindset, it's easier for you to achieve because you know what to do. So wealth is not accidental, it is orchestrated. You have to understand what it is to do to create wealth. It doesn't matter the level that this message is meeting you or this training is meeting you. What matters is your understanding. The moment you know, the moment you learn, you can become. Once you have become in your mind, then you achieve. Because when a medical doctor, when he started school in year one, as he's coming in through matriculation, he was nobody. But by the time he's graduating in 7 years through housemanship and lots of that, he has become a medical doctor. Why? Because he has gone through, he has submitted himself to a body of institution of learning and to learn and to become a medical doctor. Even when he has not started doing much work, he has become a medical doctor. So you have to become wealthy in your mind, then before you become wealthy in your hand. It has to become in your mind before it comes to your hand. So today I'll be talking about understanding wealth creation. Now, the first question I'll be asking is that, have you ever wondered why others are getting wealthy and why others, another set of people are just admiring, or better still, you are just admiring, you are not really achieving as you desire? Another question also you should look at is that, do you believe that you can become wealthy without taking a foul play, or better still compromising your faith? And also, what if wealth creation is not luck, but is a deliberate effort? It's through appropriation of principles. God has laid out principles. The first thing God told us in Genesis 1 verse 20 is to create wealth. He says, and I command them, he said, be fruitful. Be fruitful means he has placed in us. We should respond to what he gives to us. Be fruitful. He wouldn't ask us to be fruitful when he has not placed something inside of us. That means he has given to us ideas, skill, gifts, talent, and lots of that. There are potentials in us that God expects us to become fruitful for. So that means our fruitfulness is a response to implanting of his ideas, of his abilities in us. So he said, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and create a system and a structure that makes it produce without struggle, and subdue and have dominion. So God is not even expecting us to become rich, he's expecting us to be wealthy, where we have a state of financial freedom without struggle. Wealth is not a mystery, it is a system. It's a system that is built on principle. It's a system that's built on principles. It's not something, a mystery, it's not something we just pray alone and you feel that you're just going to jump on enough at the right cherry. It's a system that is built on principle. So that's why many people pray for wealth, but ignore the laws that produce the wealth. And so that's how the scripture, in 1 Corinthians 3:6, there's a revelation God gave to me. He says, I planted, Apollo waters, God gives the increase. So there's I, there's you, there's God, there's a responsibility by men, and before God comes in, he said, I buy whatever you buy on the nation. That means there's a need to do something before everyone responds. That's why religion has really plagued a lot of people by our mindset to feel that God is just going to commit wealth to us without you having to take any responsibility. Like the man of God, you see, any faith that makes God absolutely responsible is an irresponsible faith. You have a role to play. You have a role to play. This shows, the order which word follows. He said, planting, watering, and harvest. The fourth one is going to be structure. That means planting, watering, harvest, and structure. So God gives increase only after you are planted and watered. But sadly, many Christians confuse religious misconduct or religious mindset with kingdom mindset. They misconstrue or they confuse religious mindset with kingdom mindset, because religion prays. That's what they do. Religion prays for what kingdom principle must be worked out. There's a responsibility God is giving to us. Religion prays for what kingdom principle need to be worked out. That's why people are looking for great prophet. They are looking for big pastor. They are looking for one anointed pastor. They are moving from place to place, looking for one pastor, looking for one cleric, one person to pray for them, looking for soap log and lots of that, because they feel that when creation only comes by spiritual and lots of that. That's fantastic. So you need to understand that when creation comes through you appropriated principles. So religion expects harvest where no seed was sown. How many of you are going to go into your plant and you're going to go into your vineyard or farmland and you're going to be kabashing, and without you planting anything, you're going to get nothing. So that's the way people of Africa, that's where we think, that's what we're wired to think, that's what religion has plagued us to think. So the kingdom mindset understands that faith without work is dead. So let's really look at difference between religious mindset and kingdom mindset. What the religious mindset does to us is that it's a God will do it somehow. We become delusional, thinking God will do it somehow. There's going to be a way. Yeah, it's good to have faith in God, but you have a role to play. But kingdom mindset will say, God has done it, I must take responsibility to apply his principle. God has done it, but I must take responsibility to apply his principle. Principle was created by God. It was God himself that put principles in motion that we need to learn and appropriate. So that's how we plant, we water, and God puts harvest on it, and we now structure. So religion waits for miracles. The kingdom works principles to produce predictable results. Jesus told in the parable of the talents. We look at Matthew 25:14-30 to show that the kingdom will reward productivity, not passivity. He was asking the man. He said, if I've given you talent, are you not supposed to produce in your hands? Are you not supposed to produce? Why bury it? So let me just quickly look at 5 levels of mindset that produce wealth. 5 levels of mindset. The first is mindset of responsibility. You have to take responsibility. Wealth creation starts when you stop blaming others. You are blaming government, you are blaming family members, you are blaming friends, you are blaming uncle, you are blaming one person or the other. You have to take responsibility. It is your responsibility, solely your responsibility, to create wealth, not for others. You have to stop being a victim or being having this sense of entitlement. They didn't help me. Yeah, who are you going to help you? See, if nobody helps you, help yourself by learning and by improving yourself, by working towards it, by taking responsibility for your life. The outcome of your life is a function of your input of your hands. The outcome of your life is a function of the input of your hands or your mind. So you've got to take responsibility by yourself. So you blame the economy and take responsibility for your outcome until you see yourself as the driver of your destiny. You will remain a passenger of life. That is it. Responsibility ends excuses. Until you see yourself as a driver of your life, you become a passenger of life. Just be going like that. So, like I will always say, is that you can't pray away principles you are meant to practice. You can't pray away principles that you are meant to practice. If they give you a drug, somebody is sick, they give him a drug and is meant to use the drug, but when you use the drug and he's wanting healing, so it's going to be like the man at the Bethesda who was there for 38 years for the best found mindset. We are always looking for that miracle part, not try to take responsibility. See, Joseph didn't wait for the economy of Egypt to favor him. He took responsibility in Potiphar's house and eventually managed the wealth of the nation. So the second mindset is the mindset of investment. We have to understand the mindset of delayed gratification. We try to allow your money to work for you. Investment is a bridge between today's work and tomorrow's wealth. The investment is a bridge between today's work and tomorrow's wealth. It is the ability to delay gratification, to save and to sow wisely. So if you spend everything you have, what is going to happen? You are, wasting tomorrow. You are eating your future. Oshone Ban used to put an emblem in those days on their calendar. You see the guy eating so much food. He said, don't eat away your future. So do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. Save first. Save first. That's what Warren Buffett always say. They do not save after spending. Spend what is left after saving. You know, like somebody who earns 200,000 monthly and saves 50,000 naira consistently for 5 years. You know, with wise investment would have built, you know, capital and confidence, because the wealth grows quietly through patience. You know, wealth is not something you just take overnight. Like our young people, they have this microwave generation. You just want to get it now, put in the microwave now, get it in 5 minutes. That's not going to happen. It takes time. It takes time. That's why I said in that training that we have, it has given us a platform of time, space, and matter. You need to understand what you become through time. You become something through time, then you work it out in principle with space, then the outcome becomes the matter. So the mindset of purpose. Number 3, say kingdom wealth is not for showmanship. It is for stewardship. It is not for showmanship. It's for stewardship. God doesn't empower you to impress others, but to impart lives. God is not empowering you with work to impress others, but to impart life. You know, the man, Miles Morris will always say, when purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Abuse is inevitable. So your business, skill, or career is a channel of blessing to your generation. You have to become a value creation. It becomes a value creation through which you bless others. So your wealth that is not tied to purpose eventually leads to pride or waste. When your wealth is not tied to purpose, it becomes a pride or waste. You waste it because you don't even know the reason why you have it in the first place. So mindset, number 4, mindset of possibility. If you can't see wealth as possible, you can't attract it. You can't even experience it. The poor often think wealth is reserved for others, but in the kingdom, God delights in the prosperity of his servants. Psalm 35 verse 27. You know, so wealth is not for others, it's not for some people, it's not for them. It's for all of us. God wired it. That's why I said be fruitful, because I've placed the potential of fruitfulness in you. There is a potential of fruitfulness right in you. So it is for all of us to take advantage and to tap into those potentials and begin to maximize wealth. So faith is not fantasy. It's conviction in God's system of increase. It's conviction in God's system of increase. You see what Proverbs 23 verse 7 says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You are a product of your thinking. If you think wealth is not possible, then forget about it. You can't get it. That's what leads to poverty in the first place. The mindset of it's not possible, it's not for us. You know, you see what Elon Musk believed, that space travel was possible. That it was the first, you know, private organization that we launched, that will start a SpaceX, an organization that is launching, you know, rocket into space, or like NASA, you know, which is for government organization. He believed that he could launch an organization that will be launching rocket into space. He acted on it. You know, you too must believe financial dominion is achievable. It is achievable through work, wisdom, and grace. Number 5, wealth mindset of value creation. Value creation. Every wealth story begins with value. You plant value, nurture it, and as well harvest result. The farmer doesn't get rich by wishing the plant, or you know, waiting, or you know, it's gonna harvest in this season. It's gonna he plants, waits, and harvest in this season. He doesn't wish. He doesn't achieve well by wishful thinking. No farmer, you know, plans by wishful thinking. I wish I just harvest a lot. It's depending on what you planted. That is what you harvest. You know, so you plant, wait, and harvest in due season. So there are 3 phases of value creation. I'm going to be showing you there are 3 phases of value creation that you need to understand. That's number 1, planting. So you have to plant your time, your skill, your gift, ideas, or investment. So these are 3 things. In your planting, you must understand your vehicle becomes a vehicle of worth you are onboarding. If you are onboarding your spending of time, you're going to be a laborer, just using your time to get money. They're going to pay you wages according to time. So you have to move to skill. If you have been spending time, learn something, know about what you're doing. Build on a skill. So they pay you salary through skill. You know, when you move from salary to from skill, you move to to gifts. you are speaking, you are singing, they pay you income. They pay you income. Just like ideas, a businessman, entrepreneur, create ideas, craft ideas, and they pay you income, or investment. These are the vehicle of wealth. Investment, like a serial investor, like Warren Buffett, who invested in several to Marshall, company, and he's been investing into several companies like Coca-Cola. This guy makes over $800 million every year in Coca-Cola. Not even the CEO of Coca-Cola makes such. He's a serial investor. He's investing, So make sure you are investing. Make sure you are investing. So you are either selling time, or selling gifts, selling skills, selling gifts, selling ideas, or selling investment. So let me just advise you, as you are selling your time, selling your skill, selling your giftings, or selling ideas, be investing. That's what secures your future. So investing. So investment are the vehicle of wealth creation. You plant through learning, working, and sowing. You plant through learning, working, and sowing. Never stop learning. Keep improving your ability, improve your skill. Just like a tailor who learns digital fashion marketing is planting seeds of greater income. So you go and learn, like all tailors now. Now tailors are just learned that sewing for all their life. You have not improved on digital fashion marketing, digital designing and fashion designing. They call themselves fashion. They don't even know what fashion designing means in the first place. How those designs style people and lack of that. So you need to upgrade what you're doing by learning more. So number 2 is watering. So the value creation is broken into 4 like that. So watering, you have to water. As applying principles, discipline, and consistency. We'll talk about the success principle and financial principle. This is a stage of both pruning and patience. As a farmer has planted, what's going to be doing is going to be nurturing, it's going to be watering, it's going to be cultivating. It's called gestation period. The time you're going to water and keep watering through success principle, like hard work, diligence, right attitude, punctuality, right attitude. Put in success principles there, and financial principle like saving, investment, using money right, and lifestyle. We're going to cover the whole of that. So you must water. The reason why 2 people are working simply collecting salary, but one is better than the other because one knows how to use money better. We're still going to talk about that area. So number 3 is harvest, the reward stage. As a system begins to yield fruits. That means as you have planted, you're watering, and the harvest begin to come through sales, profit, influence. You are making income through sales. You are making income through profits. You are making income through influence because people need to know you. So like Joseph interpreted dreams, which is value, and served in diligence, watering, and later ruled Egypt. He served his dreams. A lot of people, the problem they make is that, no, if I'm in the right place, I will give my best. You are working in an organization, even when they are paying you peanuts. Give your best. Joseph was in the house of Potiphar as a slave. He was never collecting salary, but he gave his best. He was given his best. That he was made the ruler, the head of slaves. He was in a prison. He was never collecting anything, yet he was serving his giftings. And yet he was made the master of the prison until he became the master of the whole nation. So you've got to serve anywhere you are. Don't say, how much are they paying me? How much are they giving me? It's not about how much, it's about what you have to offer. Keep proving your worth. Keep proving your worth anywhere you are. So those that sow in tears, they will reap in harvest. So the next one is a structure. Number 4, structure. As the income begin to come in, structure them. Put in investment. Put some back to expand the business. Put some, save some, invest some. I'm going to teach all of that in financial literacy. That's two or thereabout. So that's custody. So you need to really learn how to structure. When you are making money and there's no structure, that's why a lot of people they pray for blessings. I pray for a lot of people, even as a pastor, and they make a lot of money, but they lack structure. They eat the money today, they left for God the place of structuring for the future and for us to create system whereby the money continues to flow. Now, let's move to the next one, understanding the season of wealth creation. You have to understand your season of wealth creation because wealth is seasonal. The lack of understanding of those seasons causes, serious frustration. We have talked about it. There's a planting season, there's a watering season. I told you the planting season is where you plant, your time, you plant your skill, you plant your gifts, you plant your ideas, you pray for harvest. The watering season is so you are learning, from that planting, you are learning, you are improving yourself, discipline, you are patient, the watering season, that's where you're going to apply financial principles. You are applying success principles. I'm talking about that, budgeting, saving, and tithing, and the covenant practice as well. That's why I need to add to that of that watering. The covenant, look at things you do during watering: success principle, financial principle, and covenant practices. You are giving your tithe, you are giving to God, you are serving God, you are praying. But a lot of people, they just focus on that prayer, leaving this success principle of right attitude to work, financial principle, using money rightly. So they just focus on prayer. So covenant practice is one of them. You can even pay tithe and still be broke if you don't use the harvest well. So these are the things you do, so to manage that. And we'll talk about harvest season, talk about harvest, the time the word comes and you begin to manage it. Then the number one, fourth we talk about is the structure. The structure season, like I said, the harvest comes, where you must structure must follow. What without structure leads to waste. It leads to waste. Build system, manage resources, reinvest and set up accountability. And that's the challenge in this country. No structure, no accountability. Everything is just wasting. So like a businessman that earns millions but fails to invest or record profits soon collapse. In your business, you have to have a record, a journal where you're recording daily sales, daily income. You have to understand, you have to create a cash flow statement every month, how much came in, how much going out, what's the opening stock for your for the cash for the month. You need to know where the money is going to, track the money, good budgeting. We're going to talk about that in the financial class. So you have to get this wisdom. Not that wealth is not pursued, it is attracted by the person you become. That's why you are going through this course. Wealth is not pursued, it is attracted by the person you become. So God gives seed to the sower, not to the consumer. God does not give seed to the consumer. If you're going to be consuming seed, no seed comes to you. So God gives seed to the sower. Principles, number 3, principles are stronger than miracles. Get this today. Principles are stronger than miracles because they reproduce results consistently. They reproduce results consistently. So you have to understand the place of miracle, and the place of principle. Principles are stronger than miracles. Miracle is an intervention. Something is about to go bad, an intervention is good. You can't live your life on miracles. That's why God has created principle for us to sustain miracles on a daily basis. So let's reflect on this question. Which of the 5 mindsets do you need to strengthen most right now? These are the questions I'm going to ask you. Which of these 5 mindset you need to strengthen most right now? Is it a possibility? Is it a mindset of investment? Is it a mindset of responsibility? Is it a mindset of purpose or value creation? So what is your primary seed? Are you selling skill? Are you selling time? Are you selling ideas? Are you selling investment potentials? You have to learn that. So my 3 question is, what principles are you currently applying to water your seed? You're working. How much your success principle? How much are you learning from time to time to upgrade your skill, to upgrade yourself? to improve on what you're doing. How much God, education is a lifelong skill. You don't graduate from it. You have to want to learn, keep upgrading yourself. The more you upgrade your financial revelation, then the more the manifestation of wealth becomes to you. So, what principles are you currently applying right now to water your seed? Your financial seed, financial principle. We talk about the success principles and covenant practices. How can you structure your finances after the next harvest? So you have to next think about structuring. Push money to savings. Don't save what is left. Spend what is left. Save first. If it's 20% you want to save, we're going to talk about all of that during this, during the financial literacy class. That's course 3. Understanding wealth creation is understanding God's system of increase. You have to understand God's system of increase. Prayer opens your spirit, but principles open your destiny. I must tell you that prayers open your spirit. Principles open your destiny. When you embrace the responsibility, invest wisely, pursue purpose, believe possibilities, and create value, you activate heaven's pattern for prosperity. So, once again, 1 Corinthians 3 verse 6, I have planted, watered, and God gives increase. So plant diligently, water faithfully, and let God give increase in His time. Alright, stay blessed. This is course 1. See you in the course 2. Make sure you ask, if you have any question, write it down. In the course 5, we're going to create a live class, where we can ask questions, we can deliberate. And there's a mentorship program after this program. So there's a mentorship program, and also these courses are compiled into a manual. It's just 1,000 naira. See on the WhatsApp platform, you can access it, buy it, we'll send it to you. Pay, let us have the slip, they will send it to you. So make sure you have these things so that you can continue to read it over and over. All that you need to learn are there in manual, so you can appreciate it and operate the principles. And your life is changing. I believe your life is changing. You won't remain the same. You will remain the same. Don't promise yourself, this is, but the only promise is apply and appropriate all that you are learning. Alright, stay blessed. See you in course 2. Alright, see you in course 2.